Okay, so this will be the video for the mark on based on cost. So we have also discussed the mark on, the cost, and the selling price. So we will now move on getting the mark on based on cost. So slideshow. Okay. So to get the mark on based on cost, so these are the formulas that we use. So to get the mark on, if the rate based on cost or the RC and the cost is given, we simply use this formula. Okay. So if we're looking for the mark on, the rate based on cost is given and the cost, we use this formula. And if we're looking for the rate based on cost, while the mark on and the cost are given, we use this formula. And if we're looking for the cost and the selling price and the rate based on cost is given, we use this formula. So we can always derive from those formula so we can answer the question, or we can satisfy what is the question that is being asked. So remember those formula and take a screenshot if you want to. So let us have first our first example here. So a retailer sells an ink cartridge for a certain brand of printer with 36% mark on based on cost. Determine the selling price of one cartridge, of which cost the retailer 295 per unit. Okay? So first, identify muna natin yung given natin. So, a retailer sells an ink cartridge for a certain brand of printer with 36% mark on based on cost. So, yung rate based on cost natin, which is 36% that is given, okay. So, rate based on cost is equals to 36% or 0.36. So the reason why we put it into decimal is because we can't have an operation with a percentage sign. So you need to make it as a decimal first. So gagawin muna nating decimal para makapag-proceed tayo sa operation na meron tayo. Okay? So rate based on cost is 36%, and then determine the selling price. So we are looking for the selling price of one cartridge which cost the retailer 295. So our cost is 295 pesos. 295 per unit. Okay? So hinahanap natin is the selling price. So since from the given, so identify lang natin kung pwede tayong mag-derive sa mga to. Since wala yung direct na kailangan natin, which is the rate based on cost. I mean, we have here, no. So, hinahanap pala natin dito is the selling price. So, since a given wala yung selling price natin, kailangan nating mag-derive from those one. So, since the first formula wala naman siyang selling price, we won't be using this one. Second formula, wala din siyang selling price. We can't use this one. So, ang gagawin natin, which is this one, kasi siya lang yung may selling price. So, from that formula, cost is equals to the selling price all over 1 plus rate based on cost. So, ang gagawin lang natin, since may equal sign tayo dito, magko-cross multiply lang tayo and put the denominator of C as 1. So, cross multiply 1 times the selling price close parenthesis, cost times the 1 plus RC. So, cost times 1 plus rate based on the cost. So, ang gagawin natin, 1 times selling price, this is equivalent to selling price, equals to the, copy mo lang yung formula natin, C times 1 plus rate based on cost. Okay? Ayusin ko lang. So, since meron na tayong formula dito, and we are looking for the selling price, ito na yung gagamitin nating formula. So, selling price is equals to the cost times the quantity 1 plus RC. So, copy down lang natin yung selling price. Then, yung cost natin, which is our here, given na siya, we have 295. Copy down 1 plus rate based on cost natin, which is this one, or 0.36. Okay? So, gagawin mo yan. Copy down mo lang yung 295. 1 plus 0.36 is 1.36. Then, multiply mo lang siya. So, if we have 295 multiply by 1.36, that is equivalent to 401.2. So, our selling price now is 401.2 pesos. Okay? So, that is how you get the selling price. Okay? So, next question tayo. Next example. So, Malaya Bookstore sells a netbook computer sleeve for 983.55. Compute the mark-on rate based on cost if the bookstore bought the sleeve for 790. Okay? So, identify natin yung given natin. Malaya Bookstore sells a netbook computer sleeve for 983.55. Kasi sinabi natin sell, that will be the selling price. So, selling price is equals to 983.55. Then, after that, compute the mark-on rate based on cost. It is the one that is missing. If the bookstore bought, kasi sinabing bought, this is the cost. So, cost now is equals to 790 pesos. So, from the given here, the formula that we can use is this one. Okay? So, rate based on cost is equals to the mark-on over the cost. So, we will be using rate based on cost is equals to mark-on over the cost. So, from our given here, as you can see, the cost is given, which is this one. Pero yung mark-on natin is nawawala from the given. So, to get the mark-on, as we said from the previous lesson that we have, mark-on is equals to the selling price minus the cost. Okay? So, since yung selling price natin and cost are given, substitute lang natin dito. Lipat ko lang siya. Okay. Okay, so from our previous lesson, our mark on is equals to the selling price minus yung cost natin. So mark on, copy down mo lang, selling price natin 983.55 minus the cost, which is 790. Okay, so we have 983.55 minus 790, that is equivalent to, mark on natin ngayon is equals to 193.55. Okay? Okay. So, since meron na tayong cost, which is this one, and meron na rin tayong mark on, which is this one, pwede na natin gamitin tong formula na to to get the rate based on cost. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, substitute lang natin, rate based on cost is equals to the mark on, which is 193.55 all over the cost, which is 790. We have 790. Okay? So, 790 ngayon, in your calculator, okay, so 193.55 divided by 790, that is equivalent to 0.245, and if we convert that into percentage, since yung rate based on cost natin at rate based on the selling price, since they are rate, they should be in percentage form. So, ang gagawin mo lang, from the decimal point, move 2 places to the right. So, 1, 2, that is equivalent to 24.5%. So, this will be our rate based on cost. So, to know kung tama ba yung sagot natin, multiply natin yung rate based on cost dito sa cost natin. And then, after that, i-add natin siya dito sa cost. Dapat ang makuha natin is 983.55. So, multiply natin yung 24.5. When you move that, that would be 0.245 times yung cost natin, which is 790. Okay? So, 0.245 times 790, that is equivalent to 193.55. So, kaya natin siya minultiply sa cost. It's because it is rate based on cost. Okay? So, 790 times 0.245, that's equivalent to 193.55. Then, add mo siya sa cost natin, which is 790. That is equivalent to 983.55. So, this is the same with our selling price here, which means we have the right rate based on cost. Okay? So, next example tayo. So, what is the cost of a brand new washing machine if Golden Ray Appliance Center sells it for 5,130 and creates 35% mark on based on cost? So, tinatanong dito, what is the cost? So, cost natin will be the one for the question mark. And then, if the appliance Golden Ray Appliance Center sells it for 5,130, sinabing sales, that will be the selling price is equals to 5,130 and creates a 35% mark on based on cost. So the rate based on cost is equals to 35% or 0.35. Okay? So ang gagawin natin ngayon, we are looking for the cost. So the cost here, meron tayo nito. So in here, cost yung hinahanap natin, which is this one. And the selling price is given in here, which is this one. And the rate based on cost is also given. So we will just simply use this formula and then substitute the given that we have. So we have the cost is equals to the selling price minus 1 plus rate based on cost. Substitute lang natin. Selling price is equals to 5,130 all over 1 plus rate based on cost natin is 0.35. Okay? Gagawin natin, cost is equals to, copy down lang natin 5,130 all over, do the operation for this one. 1 plus 0.35 is equals 1.35. Then after that, in your calculator, we have 5,130 divided by 1.35. That is equivalent to 3,800. So ang cost ng washing machine na binibenta nila, that they sell for 5,130, the cost niya is 3,800. Okay? To know if that is correct, multiply natin yung mark on rate based on cost sa cost natin. So we have the mark on rate, which is 0.35. Multiply mo siya sa cost, which is 3,800. Dapat ang makuha nating sagot is this one, 5,130. Okay? So gagawin mo, multiply mo lang yan. We have 0.35 times 3,800. That is equivalent to 1,330. Then after that, ito pa lang yung mark on natin. Then i-add natin siya sa cost natin, which is 3,800. So 1,330 plus 3,800, that is equivalent to 5,130, na pareho lang ng selling price natin, which is this one. That's why we can say that 3,800 is the cost of this certain appliance or the washing machine. Okay? Kapag nakuha mo is correct in here, which means tama yung sagot mo. Okay? So if you have any question, you can always review this video and watch out for the rate based on the selling price. So that will be all for this video, and thank you.